Hey, good morning once again, wonderful people. I am back with a morning episode, morning thought more like. These are the videos I used to do a lot back then, in like 2 years back, 1 year back. Somehow I got caught up with so much fragrance reviews and fragrance journey that I did not find so much time to think a lot. Actually, I got myself in such a mode that I've been running restless, and I that was a big mistake, burning yourself out. But I think, like, sometimes once in a while we have to have these thoughts and food for thought kind of thing. So this episode is not going to be fragrance review or anything fragrance related talk, but I would like to talk about how this world has become a very selfish place, and such a, like, so many wrongdoings are happening in the world, all over the world, and we can just simply see. So I would like to talk about some aspect of life, like, how this world is under tension with war, terrorism. It's big words, but I also would like to discuss how people are, committing crimes and no one really cares. Racism, hatred, division, partition. A lot of this happening. Is it actually beneficial for us at all, or how did it come to this point? So yeah, I would like to discuss some of it from my observation. You may skip the video, no problem, but I would like to share my thoughts with you, and I think give you some uh, maybe some ideas so you can think over it. If you are watching this, even if 100 people watch it, I would say, think of it, think of these things. Perhaps one or two persons, if we change, we cannot change the whole world, but the whole ocean is comprised of droplets of water. So every drop of water, if you contribute a lot of drops, then it becomes like a ocean, right? So yeah, you can definitely try to do our part and try to change. So first of all, what are the things, like, I would give you some example, random example, not just particularly one, racial hatred or whatever. You see, the number of crimes in every country, the I'll go one by one. Crimes, like murders, rapes. You see nowadays, I see, where we stay, that's where we see mostly firsthand, right? Our news media, or if you see, like, happening every day. So in Asian zone, like where I used to be back then, it's like that Malaysian zone. There was a lot of crime as well there, like a lot of murders, like gangsters, robberies. Every country has fair share of that. Some countries, they have very good law and order system, but everywhere there's gonna people, there's gonna be a mess. So I saw like a lot of crimes, accidents, like when poverty hits also. I think the reasons I will discuss also, I think two major reasons behind all these crimes, rising crimes, and people being desperate for like certain things, money, whatever. I think it's either caused by poverty or moral drop down, like like morality has gone down. Or third factor, I think, is very important, is selfishness. That's the most important. I think I'll discuss this in the end. But I noticed, like, our side, a lot of these rape cases happening, like, women, children, school kids, even 9-month-old babies are being raped. 80 years old, 100-year-old women are being raped. What could be like possible reason for this horrible crimes? You cannot even, these are unthinkable things. We cannot. I was born in 80s, like 80s and 90s. That time, when you grew up, of course we saw there were crimes. There were like political murders. There were a lot of like robberies. People are being robbed. Banks are being robbed. A lot of these things happen, accidents, but not to this extent. I'm not trying to brag about my generation that we lived in a better time. Perhaps we did. Our forefathers perhaps did a better time before so much technology and less humanity hit us. But really, now today, what the world is like, if you see Christchurch attack, the mosque attack, I'm not gonna be like pointing out at certain religious groups only, like sympathetic to certain of my own brothers of own religion, and then the rest of it overlook it. No, you cannot do that. Humanity has no boundaries. Humanity has anything. Before anything, you have to see humanity. You see the attacks in Paris, US, UK, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, anywhere you see, India, whatever religion people are, like, people are of any religion, only humanity is dying. Like, innocent people are being harmed, children, women. Even like, if let's say a person who is a Christian, and he is attacking like schools in USA with a gun, and then they're killing other Christians. So it's you see, it's not about religion. It's about how the world has gone to that place that people are gone sick. I think these people, like people are committing suicide out of depression. All these things are not anything positive. So ultimate, the toll is taking, it's on humanity, as in whole, on whole of humanity, no matter where you are, if you're white, black, brown, yellow, whatever is your color, whatever is your religion, whatever god you follow. uh, we all are being harmed the same. So what do we want in a society? We want a good law and order system, a moral obligation of government. Of course, every government has gonna be have some issues. They're gonna be like corruption. They're gonna be like, money laundering. Gonna be like a lot of these things. I even saw good countries they have this problem, but at the same time, side by side, they do development. In good countries, they do build roads, good banking system. There is like enough food. Prices are very reasonable for everybody in the country, so nobody goes hungry, sleeping hungry. So when that poverty hits, I think that's the first point I would say. The poverty hits, that's when the number of crimes. This is what we learned in economics. But I like to think of it as real life issue. When people are gonna be poor, needy, they're gonna be frustrated because once you hit that point, like you cannot eat, then you become desperate. Maybe a person doesn't have money, will try to snatch thief, gonna be the snatch thief, trying to snatch away your bag or try to steal some money from people. Perhaps it coming from that. Sometimes it's drug related. People are drug addicts, so they are robbing. That's a different case. We have a lot of cases, but if you see the number of like the poverty rate goes high, the crime rates go high side by side. This is like a general observation. Second thing, the crime can go high if it's related to drugs. That's why many countries like in Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, these countries have strict drug policies. Like they catch anybody with drugs, doing drug related crimes and stuff, they put them quick tribunal, and then they have death penalty with shooting. Like they give, like I think, like they shoot them to death or something like that. So zero tolerance for drugs. So I respect that. But if you imagine that other one, the last part that I said is the most dangerous one, is the selfishness. It's a bigger than what you can imagine. You're thinking like, oh, selfishness is not that a big of a deal. I am living my life, so what? I'm not harming anybody. Yes, you are. Indirectly, when you turn your back, when it's not your problem. Let's say someone is being robbed on the road, someone being killed. In Bangladesh, I saw a lot of disturbing things recently happening, and it really messes with my mind. Like people are being killed in broad daylight, and these people are just like backed by like very strong political leaders who are in power, and nothing happens to them. Days after days, murders, a lot of these brutal murders. Like people are losing life like their life don't matter. A cow would have a better life value in these countries. Nowadays, people being abducted, and a lot of bad things are happening. And once you see that, you also see other people, like they lie to you. Like fragrance groups I saw, they take, like you trust someone, you give them the product and they never pay you. You pay them, they send you a fake product. A lot of these online sellers are selling potatoes when they promise to sell you a cell phone, mobile phone. These things are happening today because our morals are gone. We cannot expect within a day or two these changes will happen if we just put, let's say, strong enforcement. Let's say we want to moderate the country better. Let's say we are in power and we put like strict rules everywhere. We monitor. Yeah, there's gonna be changes because people are gonna be scared of law enforcement. But ultimate change can only come from people, like from their own self. You cannot stop a person. Let's say I saw that Sri Lankan attack. I'm just giving random examples. Fragrances to the world, crime, all this terrorist attacks and everything. What would be their motivation? These people were rich. They were Muslims, like a minority group in Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka is a very peaceful country. I noticed it. It's a very peaceful country. I have a lot of friends from Sri Lanka. We studied together, and I got to know through cricket, both Muslims and Buddhists, Christians. It doesn't matter. Religion don't matter to me. I mean, it does. Of course, I respect religion, every single religion. But when it comes to people, I always see what the person is like. I do not treat him like he is Muslim or non-Muslim. I try to see him as if this person has good values, he's smart, he's funny or not, is he a friendly guy. These are things I see. I don't really care if you're from Saudi or you're from Israel or States. I don't really care. As long as you're a nice person, I have I have no issue with you. I have no beef with you. But I saw those attackers. It hurt me so much. Like these people, they had everything. They had BMW cars. They had everything going for them. They are highly educated, and they're just carrying a backpack and blast away a church or something. What is a place of church or mosque where people go to pray, right? These people are the most devoted people, I would say. Like you take your time of Sunday and you're just going to say your prayers, just go to a gathering or listen to like your priest talking about religion, humanity. We also have that in our religion. Like people will, the leaders will say in the mosque like good messages, like speak the truth, practice good like deeds, do donation to people. These are the good things that keeps human going. And that's where you go and bomb and kill a lot of people. You see, there's like you cannot have any comments, or you cannot have like, you are just gonna be like speechless. What do you do? You feel helpless, you will be angry. And what do you do? And these are people like trying to take, they say, according to them, it's like a revenge for some other attack in some other part of the country. What did these people do? Nothing. So when you see this, you get like really angry. I see angry, I feel like helpless. And any religion that's been attacked, or whatever people, like Muslims attacking Muslims being attacked, it doesn't matter. But what I see is like a lot of these people during the as a result of a war or this hate crime, they're being killed randomly. What did they do? Nothing, right? So what can I do to change? We have to stop being selfish. That's the most important thing. I think nowadays, our generation before that, slowly what happened was we became so selfish at that point that we just care about our own life and happiness. We don't care about others. We don't care about others' well-being. Why do people commit suicide out of depression? I had lost friends in that, we had fragrance community. I had a good friend who was a reviewer, and it didn't occur to me that it would go to that extent. But world becomes sometimes such a painful, and like, it's like you cannot imagine. Like, you saw the movie called The Green Mile. Most terrible things happen in this world. So all the things that I mentioned to you, either it's money people steal, or it's small children, they begin raped, they get killed, people cut a throat of someone just to get their car. This will happen because no one really cares. If someone cared, in this country, that criminals would not get away with doing such horrible things, and they just catch them and teach them a strong lesson. If our administration or our law and order forces, they were strict, they were not corrupt on most part, you would see these people being caught, the criminals are caught, they're brought to justice. And if they're murderers, we have strict law, their punishment. If they're punished, there wouldn't be such cases that much. Unless you have support from the top, you cannot have such horrible things. If your top management is good, they're strict, they can actually do they can ensure the roads are going to be safer, the mall's going to be safer, everywhere there's not going to be corruption. You don't have to pay bribe to get your own certificate or something, or your own passport or visa. If you go to, like, I had horrible experiences here. Like, to get my own license, I put fingerprint and took picture, and they said they lost the file, and I had to pay again to get my license. It took me about 28 to 29 trips to far away shit place that I didn't want to go. So these things happening because over there they are making a system like it. So this is how it's gonna be: harassing people, make them come again and again. So at some point people will offer them money just to get their license, because they'll say enough of it. Because those people cannot rebel, they cannot say anything because they're scared. The whole system actually is like this. So if you raise your voice, they're gonna be attacked by, you're gonna be recognized as one of the enemies of the country. This is what happens. So in the end, nobody is gonna survive this bad deeds, bad karma. It's gonna come back eventually to come back and bite you in your ass. No matter how rich you are, whatever you are, you can be powerful, but if you do wrong, if you lie to people, if you take away their rights, if you hurt innocents, this is not going to be ending well for anybody. Whoever is enjoying the benefits. Obviously, the war has, if you watch the movie called Lord of War, right? Nicolas Cage. That movie actually make you think. A lot of films like this, Blood Diamond, they make you think, like, who's being benefited. Like, you see poachers, they're killing rhinos, like they're killing the elephants for their task, the horn, because some a-hole somewhere in part of the world, they believe consuming that they're gonna get better life. Or if you're eating shark fin soup, people are paying for it. They're killing animals right there. The wildlife is being destroyed. You making more buildings and stuff, and these animals are going hungry. They're dying. So if you destroy the balance of the world, you actually eventually suffer. I'll give you one example. Nowadays, we used to have very beautiful weather before. I'll tell you, like in Bangladesh, I can tell you from my experience, 90s, I'll tell you this and I'll finish the whole episode. I just want to take out some frustration. Like, when we grew up, our winters were so beautiful. It used to be foggy, it used to be peaceful, not so many cars. I can remember, like, the autumn days, you can hear the cuckoo bird, like it's so peaceful. Like you walk, and then life is simple. All you care about, like back in the time, bottle of Coke or like ice cream, like those lolly ice creams, like not so much money used to get. Life was very simple. I'm not saying that technology is bad, but you see the difference now. Even nowadays, the heat is so unbearable. I never remember heat like this back in the time. It used to be tolerable. Winters used to be nice. I think, I'm not gonna say the punishment is coming from God, but the whole we throw rubbish in the sea. We are chopping down the trees. We're bringing down the mountains. These are messing with the natural how to say balance. So overall, if you're burning forests, you're burning your shit just to become a profitable business in dumping stuff in your river, fishes are dying, it's being polluted, people are getting sick, uh, all of it contributes to very horrible outcome today, and people are frustrated, angry, and they don't have any life. The work life has gone really bad. People are working like crazy, they don't have any proper sleep. So these are the things missing nowadays. I think to overcome all this, I think first of all you have to look at ourselves, like us, one by one. We have to stop lying. First of all, lying gives us nothing. People lie eventually to save their back. They think like it's going to save them, or they lie because they are scared, or they are I don't know why people lie. People just lie sometimes because they want to gain something, perhaps. So in the long run, by lying, you cannot gain anything. You're gonna lose eventually. Second of all, we have to be stop being selfish and very greedy. Like we are becoming too object oriented, like goal oriented, that we want to be making so much money, this car, that car. In the process, no family time, nothing. You don't have dinner with your son, no talk with your daughter. You just carrying on. Someone is having fever in the family, you don't really care. So these are the things. We need more family time. We need more going out, switch off our internet and sit down, just go take a trip somewhere. I'm sorry, I'm going long, but I'm going to be talking today. Just make a, like, if you have family, if you have decent earning, go for a trip even within your country. Go to nature, spend time with your family. You'll see massive difference. Your kids who are potential depression case or nut case, perhaps, like those gonna be like brainwashed later by unknown these terrorist groups. You see, UK, States, Bangladesh, a lot of these kids, young kids, they fall for this trap. Why? Because they don't have anything in their lives, right? So I'm not saying that we're going to be 100% successful, but I think if you do have better family values, a lot more uh, things would be making more sense for kids. You give them playground to play. You do not just like take away everything. We don't have any fields nowadays for playing football, cricket. It's everything's just buildings. There's no trees, there's no park, there's no like park, there's no nice park, a nice grass where you can sit. The water is dirty, ponds, there's no fishing, there's no activities basically. So these lack of these things, I think, make society really, really bad. If you go to hospital, you see they charge you so much money. Look at the corruption. They charge you so much money, they put you in ICU when actually there's nothing wrong with you. They give you cesarean birth, for children, kids, where you can have a normal, birth. So these are things people doing for money. So we have to, of course, need money because everything is getting pricey. Without money, people do not recognize you. I understand that. It's true. It's we have to make money, but at the same time, we have to have time with your family. Your strength has to be family. If your family foundation is strong, good values will come out. Your kids gonna grow up with some values. They're gonna, on most part, grow up with moral obligations. So they'll feel responsible not to throw rubbish, not to hurt others, not to go and terrify others. Like that you have the money, other people, you just look down upon them. No, they're not gonna do that. They, on the most part, they will try to help people out. They will try to do positive things in community. So we need these positive things layer by layer. This is gonna make the change. It took long time to be where we are today. So to change it, we have to have patience. Maybe not perhaps within our generation. This racial hatred, I see hope. I definitely, sorry. I definitely see hope within this generation because they are a lot more intelligent than us. They are much more in many ways they are more advanced than us. They know better, they adapt better. So I think the future generation is going to be a lot more smarter because it's not going to be any more geographical barriers. It's going to be more like cultural exchange, eager to know each other, different religion, travel, watch. So technology definitely has some good impacts. We have to know how to use it to our advantage, not just spend all time on Facebook and believe in all the propaganda with the news we see, right? So thanks for very much for watching. I just want to take out some of my, because it's very disturbing times we're living in, it's very hard to digest. I'm not saying I'm the most nicest person, but at times, it hurts me that when people are so effed up, it is just unbelievable how far we are from humanity, and we don't see it. We just worry about little gains, and we do not look in the future, and we do not worry about our long-term losses. Even if, let's say, if you're a seller, you're selling something, you sell 365 days. Out of those, you sell 364 days, all genuine products. But one day you feel like you want to make this little bit extra money, right? And you just give someone a fake product and you charge them a lot. And you think that that's how you're going to be successful. No, you're not going to be successful in that way. You're going to be losing it all very, very soon once your reputation is gone. So make sure reputation stays intact, because reputation is such a intangible asset. You can only earn. Loyalty can be earned. You cannot be like bought or purchased. You cannot ask for people to love you with money. You cannot ask for people to be loyal to you with fear of gun, right? It can only come from inspiration. So be a good person, inspire others, do some good deeds, like give money to poor people. I always say this, I try my best. Whenever I can, these good deeds will protect you in the long run, everywhere. So small by small, everything, it makes a difference. Everybody take care. Have a very nice day. And if you did watch it, thank you so much for watching and listening. I'll see you soon with a fragrance review. Take care. Bye bye.